Hi creatives, I am Dima. You're welcome to another interesting sewing tutorial. This is all about sewing this beautiful ruched shoulder basque waistline dress or gown with front overlap. If this sounds like what you're interested in, then you stick around till the end. The pattern drafting was done in the last tutorial. Just check the link in the description, and as well I will put it in the end screen so that you understand how this pattern was drafted. Okay, so right here is the lower part of the dress. As you can see, this is the front part of the dress, okay, and the lining, okay, and this is the back. So do well to watch that video. The back is just the zipper allowance that makes it different from the front. Yes, they are the same. The front pattern, the back pattern was actually traced from the front pattern for this lower part. I hope you understand. So I'll keep this aside and show you the next part that we cut and drafted in the last tutorial. So this is the midriff. Just as you can see, this is the midriff, and this is the upper part, and this is the back part of the uppermost part of this gown, okay, and this is the lining. I mentioned that you must not cut lining for this upper part, but me, I like my clothes to have a little bit of weight, so that's why I had to apply lining. This is the front part of the pattern. Please check the link in the description to see how this was drafted and cut to the stage. So I had to put all of this aside and then go ahead to apply interfacing. So the interfacing I applied for the midriff is hairstay here, okay, and I applied pepper gum here. So you can see what I have here, and I will go ahead and start putting all of them together. So this is the hairstay, which is for the fabric, and this is the pepper stay for the lining. Yes, hairstay and pepper stay. So that's what they look like. So right here, I'll place the front midriff like this, and then bring the back right sides facing each other. I'm going to place it like this. Okay, this is the back midriff. So I'll just join together like this by the side. I'll do the same for the lining. After joining it, this is what it looks like. I had to iron the seam allowance open, just as you can see in this video. Okay, I also ironed the lining open. So you have to go ahead and place the two of them together like this. Ensure that the seam allowance is open like this, and then you go ahead and pin. So pin the strategic places so that stitching it together will be quite easy. Okay, so I had to pin the landmarks like this and then go ahead and stitch together. So I'm going to stitch it all round just as I'm pointing. Okay, so when I stitch it all round, I will show you. So after stitching it all round, this is what it looks like. This is the midriff, and this is what it looks like. I will go ahead and start working on the upper part. So you can see how perfect it is. This is so beautiful. So I'll go ahead and start working on the upper part right now. So this is the upper part. I will start from the front. You can see how I applied interfacing on the neckline for the front and the back, because where I applied interfacing is actually the neckline of this cloth. So I'll go ahead and place the lining on the fabric like this, right sides facing each other. I'll stitch the neckline for both. So here I've stitched it. Just go ahead and notch like this, and then top stitch on the lining. So to top stitch on the lining, you move the seam allowance towards the lining. So here I've done that, and I've stitched it all round. I'm just making my notch for the middle notch prominent. This notch was put while drafting the pattern. So watch the pattern drafting tutorial to understand what the notch signifies, okay, or notches signify. So right here I have pinned it together, and I will stitch it together right there. So this is what it looks like. Don't worry about the neckline. When you gather, it's going to open up. Yeah, that is the beauty of pattern making. So right here is the back, and I've gone ahead to stitch the neckline as well, just as I did for the front, and top stitched and ironed as well. So I'll go ahead and join those two together by the side. Okay, so watch closely. This is how it is actually supposed to be when I'm joining to the side. But I'll first of all serge everywhere that should be serged before I continue. Yes, I've serged the shoulder line and the entry of the hand and everywhere that needs to be serged. So the next step right here is to go ahead and fold the entry of the hand. Okay, that is the first step. So I'll fold in the entry and stitch it down, just as you can see. So where I'm folding right now is the entry of the hand, more like the sleeve entry. You know, it's called together sleeve, right? So that is what I stitched down, and this is what the outcome looks like. I've done that for both the front and for the back as well. So right now is to place it like this. Watch closely to see what I'm going to do. I've stitched everything sleeve hand entry right here. So I'm going to place it like this and stitch the shoulder line. So that is the next step. Stitch the shoulder line with 3/4 inch and then iron it open like this, just as you can see me do. Now the next step is to put our lacing for the shoulder ruche. So this is the lacing. I've already prepared it. I believe you know how to do this. So I've already prepared the lacing. I will go ahead and find the midpoint. You know, I'll fold it into two like this and cut it from the midpoint so that the two, lacing will be equal. So this is how I'm going to place it and pin it down. Watch closely to see what I am doing. Just in case you don't have a weaving machine, you can actually add more allowance on this shoulder. Like you can make it 1/4 so that you fold in half and fold in again, okay, to be able to make that edge neat. Okay, so just add more seam allowance to the shoulder so that you can fold in this lacing casing. Okay, so right here you can see what I have. I've gone ahead to put the lacing, and here you can ruche. You have to be careful while stitching this. I didn't mention that. So that ruching it will not be difficult, you have to ensure that you do not stitch on the lacing, because if you do while closing it up, it's really going to be hard to ruche. Instead, stitch it and pass it with maybe bodkin or safety pin. So right here you can see the length that I used. I think I used about 27-28 inches for the length of the lacing. You can feel free to make any length that you want. Okay, so right here, this is what I have. And now I'll go ahead and close up the sides, which I have done already. So I've joined the front and the back right here by closing up the side. I've brought back the midriff. Now the next is to form gathers. Watch closely what I am illustrating here, because this is very, very important. Okay, so I have notched the middle part of this midriff. So you have to gather and ensure that the landmarks are matching, like the side seam, the middle piece. Make sure that all those points are matching while gathering. It will make your clothes to come out nice and beautiful. So that's what I'm trying to illustrate here. Ensure that the landmarks, the side seam, the middle, that they are matching really nicely. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead now and form the gather. Okay, I used my needle and thread to form my gather. You can as well use your sewing machine, the loose stitch, to form it and drag the gather stitch. Okay, so I decided to use the needle and thread to form it, and you can see what I am doing. So go ahead and form the gather stitch all through from the back to the front of this upper pattern. After doing that, you're going to join it to the midriff, maintaining the landmarks. Ensure that the landmarks are matching. I'm going to show you all of that right here. So right here I've gone ahead to form the gather stitch, and this is what it looks like. So what I'm going to do is to place it like this, which is what you're going to do with yours as well. I'll use my dressmaking pins and pin up the landmarks. Right, you're going to pin it in a way that is not going to get to the gather stitch. This pinning will help you to control where the gathered part lands at each point. Okay, just use your pinch. Now this is how I do mine. Feel free to use any method you deem fit that will make controlling this gather to be easy for you. Okay, I'm just sharing how I do mine with you. So make sure that your gather is uniform and go ahead and arrange it as you stitch it down. Okay, so ensuring that the landmarks are followed or considered. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch this, and after stitching, this is what it looks like. And at this stage, you can remove the gather stitch because it has already been stitched down. You can remove your gather stitch right now and go ahead and serge this rough edge. Okay, so that is how to do it. Now you can see me throwing the gather stitch because I'm done with it. So go ahead and stitch that side so that everything will appear neat. Now at this stage, this is what we have, and I will go ahead and take care of the lower part right now. So you can see the overlap. This V was so neat and rhyming so neatly, nothing like gaping and all of that, which I mentioned in the last tutorial, how you can control your neckline being so slacky, because when you have a deep neckline like this, if you do not take care, it is going to slack. Okay, I explain all of that in the pattern drafting tutorial. Do well to see it. The link will be in the description. So you can see what I have here. I have the front and the back. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and join the front and the back together for this lower side. So here I've put the lining aside, and I'll go ahead and join side seam to side seam, the front, and of course the back. You can see me placing the back right sides facing each other with the front. So you stitch the side, do the same for the lining, and this is what I have after that. So this is what I have after stitching it. I also had to go ahead and serge there. I've also stitched together the zipper allowance and serged as well. I've also serged the hem of this dress already. I did the same thing for the lining. Watch closely to see. I have stitched the sides of the lining and also serged it. Weaved it. Okay, so I've also stitched the zipper allowance, just as you can see here. I've stitched it, and you can see how I finished that zipper opening. Okay, that is what you're going to do for your lining. So after doing this, I'm going to go ahead and form gather stitch on this, just as I did in this one I finished now. That is the upper part of this dress. So you're going to go ahead and form your gather stitch and then join this to the midriff. Ensure to match your landmarks. So important. So you can see I have landmarks already where I used where the dart was during pattern making, and all of this I notched them so that it will be a landmark while joining this. It will make your gather to really be uniform and beautiful. So that is what I did here. I'm going to ensure that the middle is matching the middle as well, and after gathering, this is what it looks like. I mentioned that you should use 4.5 if you like this length, yes, so that your gather will be fuller. I try to manage my fabric, and that is why my gather is not that full, but I think it's okay. I like it like that as well. So this is what the inside looks like. Okay, this is what the inside looks like. Now I'm going to attach the lining. Watch closely to see how I am attaching the lining. I didn't show that part of weaving after attaching this lining, but that is what I did. Okay, watch closely to see how I attached this lining. So I'm going to place this like this. You can see the zipper allowance here. So I'm going to start from where the zipper allowance, the notch of the zipper. I didn't start this from the beginning. I started from the notch of the zipper because the zipper is not supposed to touch the lining. Okay, so I'm going to form gather just as I formed for the fabric round, and this is what it looks like after forming the gather. And you can see that the lining is now closing up the rough edge of that lower seam, but then I still had to serge it. But even if you don't, it will still look okay. Now the next thing to do is to add the zipper. Okay, so you go ahead and add your zipper allowance go ahead and add your zipper, sorry. And after adding it neatly, this is what it looks like. Okay, this is what it looks like. It came out so beautiful. It's looking so nice. Yes, it's not as full as the one on the left, but it's still fine. You can make your Basque waistline to be V, just as you can see with the pink, or the other way, just as I did. Did you enjoy this tutorial? Give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. I will see you in my next one. Bye.